What up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Cedric Edison, man, from Said Speaks. We're in the Man Cave experience. I know we missing one, but we changing the format a little bit just to be able to give y'all more content, man. And so I am excited. Hey, this is just a little impromptu interview I'm doing with some people I hold dear to my heart. Man, I look like I got a bra on or something, but that's my undershirt. But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Uh, hey, I actually Hey, I got a chance to get a hold of my sister and my brother-in-law, man. Congratulations to y'all getting married recently and during COVID. But man, what we talking about today, y'all, is your past keeping you stuck. And I just thought this would be a fitting thing to come on, have my sister come on because y'all hear about my story a whole lot. You know, gangs and all of that good stuff. And this is just to kind of confirm that a little bit. But, just to talk about family and whatnot. So they doing real big things in the Primerica world in the insurance game. Coming from just like all the rest of us, man, just working a job, and now they doing their own thing as entrepreneurs. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all, to the audience, man. What's up, y'all? What's happening, D? Arthur?
Good morning, champ. How you doing, man?
Man, hey, if I was doing any better, I swear to God, I'd probably be twins, man. I probably would.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't
So,
do
man,
that.
hey, man, so I just wanted to just chop it up because, we always talk, man. We end up on the phone for hours because we can never have a normal conversation. We get on and we like, yo, like, let's bust some moves. What's next? What's next? What's next?
Right.
But, so I just, D, I know you my sister, and just kind of consolidated a little bit, man. Like, what changed for you, D? You know what I'm saying? Because we came up in the hood, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, like, real talk. A lot of people don't know this. Turn on the light, and roaches scatter. You know what I'm saying? Our cereal came in a white box with just the word cereal. Our milk even came in the box. And shit, you was like a young mama. You know what I'm saying? With 3 kids, and like, what changed for you? Like, what was it that made you want to pursue entrepreneurship?
Wanting a better lifestyle. I think because of my background, I looked up, just started thinking about my past and how we grew up. I always, once I became a mother, my mindset was always like I wanted to do better for my kids than my mom done for us. Of course, she did the best that she could being a single parent. I never wanted to be a single parent, but I mean that was the life that happened. So instead of just tapping out, like I just had to keep it moving. So my mindset, in the very beginning was to provide a lifestyle for my children that I didn't have. I never wanted them to grow up in that environment because of seeing family members like, my siblings, other close friends being a product of that environment. So my mindset was always like I have to go to work so that I don't have to, depend on the government to take care of my household. I don't have to depend on the government to pay my rent. So I went to work and it was hard. It was hard because for as long as I can remember, I always worked 2 jobs. But then fast forward, okay? Fast forward, kids were, older, teenagers. I ended up working at a maximum security prison. And
Hmm.
that changed me. That changed me. I went into the prison with the mindset that I'm gonna treat these offenders like I would want them to treat my brother because our oldest brother was, incarcerated at the time when I first started my career with the prison. So I went in and I was just like, I'm gonna treat them with respect. I'm gonna treat them with I'm not gonna be, cussing them and just being degrading. Like I'm gonna treat them like the human beings they are. But what I found out was that in that environment, you can't go in with that mentality because they will chew you up and spit you out. So I had to make a decision: quit, find me another job, or deal with it.
So
So I never forget. I was working at the prison. I had been there for about 6 months or so, and they put me in a child hall, and I was so scared because I was the only one in there. And I remember like literally being like scared, like about to bust out crying, scared. They just threw me in there, brand new. I didn't know what to do. And you pretty much get trained by the inmates. That's just the way the environment was. But I never forget after that day, I was leaving because and my supervisor stopped me and he was like, "What's going on?" And I just bust out crying and I was like, "I can't do this. Like they say this is not for everybody. This is not for me. Like I can't." I was like real into the church, trying to pray every day and I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna witness to these offenders, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna change this environment. And they had me crying, ready to quit. And so I never forget that lieutenant told me, he said, "Didn't you tell me you have 3 kids?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Didn't you tell me you were a single parent?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "So you gonna let these offenders take food out of your children's mouth?"
mm,
And I was like,
Wow, wow.
he said, "You're gonna let these offenders change your lifestyle?"
mm.
And I was like, hmm. So I'm either gonna deal with it. I gotta tighten up them bootlaces. I gotta pull up them big girl drawers, and I got to get in the game. And I'm telling you, like I quickly realized, like I'm really not a punk. I mean, I'm trying to treat them with respect, but I had to go in the very next day with the mindset that I'm gonna treat them how they treat me. And when I went in with that mentality and showed them that I'm not one to be pushed over, like I really had to deal with myself. I have anger issues, like and it quickly started to come out. Once I had to shift that mindset, right? So I'm gonna do this thing and I'm gonna make it happen. So fast forward, after being there for about 14 years, I guess it probably was around about 10 years. I was like, there gotta be a better way. Like, we getting paid once a month. Um, we're working 12, 14, 16-hour shifts. If somebody don't show up, I gotta stay over. I'm not getting overtime because now, I had to move into a supervisory role. So whenever they say come to work, I had to come to work. It was a lot of things I had to miss out on, like award ceremonies. It was a lot of birthday celebrations that I really couldn't um, do for my kids because of work. So I was just like, this is like something about it just wasn't right. Even though I had started to progress, even though I was the one that they came to change the shift or, to try to make things better. Like when it came time for promotions, I was looked over. As soon as I, called in, I was written up. Just like everybody else, it didn't matter all of the hard work that I put in, all of the extra stuff that I put in, all the sacrifices that I made with my family. Like none of that matters because there's a prison to run. Okay, so I started thinking like, this is not the way. So fast forward, I remember you went to well, Harvey happened. Harvey happened and found myself in a situation where I really felt like we were homeless because my husband and I we were just dating at the time. We were cohabitating at the time.
Cohabitating, yeah.
we had
Cohabitating, huh?
just we had
Shacking up.
just moved into a house because we got into a relationship and then he moved in with us and then he was quickly like, "Hey, we need to get our own place." You know what I'm saying? Start over fresh, like something just us. And I was like, "Okay, cool." Just moved into the house. 6 months later, Harvey hit. We lost pretty much about 90% of our stuff. Then we found ourselves living in my mama house, a 2 bedroom house with 1 bathroom. It was me, my husband, two of my kids, both of my brothers, my mama, and her boyfriend in a
Yeah, man.
two-bedroom house
Hey, that
with
was some
one
difficult
bathroom.
times, boy. Ooh.
Hey,
Hey,
it was
hey,
rough.
that
Yo.
bathroom duty in the morning was very critical. You had to get your time
Hey,
in and get up and get it in.
it was rough.
Hey, on
It
the
was
cool, I
rough.
used to set my alarm so I could wake up before everybody.
Yes,
Hey, I was trying to get
yes,
3:30. 3:30, get the bathroom, get it
right,
over with. Cause
right.
man, 4 o'clock, it was
Yeah.
too packed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got the morning bathroom crew, and you got the evening bathroom crew.
Yeah,
Somebody gonna have
yeah,
to shower
yeah.
early. Somebody gonna have to shower late. But we made it happen. We made it happen, and it ended up not being such a bad situation because we all had the mentality that hey, it is what it is, so we got to make it work. So we made it work, you know. But while I was there, still working at the prison, still going to work, you know, Harvey hit. I'm going to work when nobody else is coming to work. But I was like, you know what? I can't do this no more. I had already previously started praying, like, Lord, I know that it's something else out there for me. Like, I'm putting my life in jeopardy every day. They can't even get a 3% raise. Like, come
Right.
on now. I'm like on paper, it's saying I'm bringing home about $4,000 a month, but after taxes and FICA, and then they added on some other retirement, like we bring in like a little over 2,000 after everything is taken out of our check. And I was like, this can't be right. Like this can't be right. So
So
I was just praying about it and everything. And then one day I went to work and I was just like, I left and I told him, I said, I'm not coming back. Like, I don't know. I'm not coming back. I walked out that prison. I sat in my truck and I looked at that prison and I just started praying. And I was just like, God, you said that, you know, we only have to have the faith the size of a mustard seed. And I don't know where I'm gonna go from here because I felt like all I knew was the prison. Like that's what I was good at.
that
So
fear
I
kicked
didn't,
in.
right, right. So I was like, I don't know what else, but I drove off now. I ain't crazy because I had like about 2,000 and some hours of sick time. I had comp time, holiday time, vacation time. So I'm crazy. At least at the time, I was thinking, all right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go to the doctor and I'm gonna get a doctor's excuse, and then I'm gonna start looking for other things because I was actually in school and instrumentation at the time. So I was like, if I could take time off from work, I can get through school a little faster, and then I can,
So
find a job.
D,
Hmm.
D, I want to shift the gears a little bit because you just brought up something I was thinking about. Because I remember it was two transitional periods. One was right after y'all had lost the place. I remember we had that coaching session.
Mm-hmm.
I took you through that exercise and we had an epiphany, and you were like, "Yo, I'm starting school." So at that point, you already knew you wanted better. So where was that transition between, wanting to go to school and saying, you know what, even forget this, I want to work for myself.
Okay, so that I kind of was like thrown into working for myself. I mean, not kind of like thrown into it. It was just okay. Well, when we did that coaching session, I was in school. I was in school and I was working, but I was kind of battling with, trying to hurry. I was going to school part time, but I wanted to up it and go full time and hurry up and get done. Well, while
Yeah.
I was in school, stuff was happening at work. They wouldn't let me leave. I was missing tests. I was about to flunk out or whatever. So fast forward to me leaving the prison and taking that leap of faith, and I'm just gonna run my time out. Right, that was in my head. I'm just gonna run my time out. Well, during that process of me running my time out, I ended up getting fired. They fired me. Like I hadn't been at work for like months, but I was up to date on my medical excuses, like doing all of that. And then I ended up getting fired while I was off. The very
Friday.
right. The very
Yeah.
next month, I kid you, it was a month to the day. Arthur and I had to go on and his cousin had called him and set up this appointment or whatever. So we get in the car and we headed to Needland to go meet his cousin. And I'm like, now what are we going here for? And he was like, well, I don't know. Like, can we cuss? I don't know. Is this like PG?
Oh
I don't
yeah, we good.
know. Okay. 'Cause he was like, he's like, I don't know, like some insurance shit or something. Like, I don't know. And I was like, some what? Like, what kind of insurance? He was like, D, I don't know. Like, I just told the people I was coming.
That's
So
all on me. All right.
look, I kid you not. I kid you not. We was sitting in his driveway And I told Arthur, I said, look, we're not signing up for nothing. We're not buying nothing. We're not so do we need to practice our statement right now? And so he was like, well, yeah, well, we could go ahead. So I said, look, we just gonna say, I just lost my job. I'm in between jobs right now, and financially, right now we can't afford anything. We're trying to get back on our feet. We done lost everything with Harvey. He was like, okay, so we're like, all right, break. We go in there. When we get in there, it's like a panel of people. So I walk in and I'm like, what the what's going on right now? Well, anyway, fast forward, they they present this opportunity to us for us to go into business for ourselves. So I'm sitting there thinking like, oh my God didn't answer my prayers. I didn't even know what I had to do. I didn't know that I was owning my own business. I just knew that I could make some money. I knew that I needed to get out of my mama's house. I knew that I had just got fired from the prison and I needed some money. So I was sold. Like I was ready. Like, so what I gotta do? What I gotta do. So Arthur sitting there like, what is you doing? In front of the people. And
Oh
I'm like,
Lord.
yes. So I'm shamed. I'm looking at him like, what the? And so he was like, you ain't talk to me. But in his head, we just had this conversation in the truck, like we're
Yeah,
not
I'm
signing up for
gonna
nothing,
tell
we're
my
not
story to
buying
start.
nothing.
So
So,
Arthur, so this
so
going on, Arthur, like, because I'm sure, and what I'm trying to get to is that pivotal moment, because we all here, man. You got to take that leap,
right,
and when we coming up, I was just talking to somebody, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't know. I never met anybody that owned their own business. Didn't know anybody that had ever went to college
right,
in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right.
the thought of because I just thought you have to invest, and investing, I ain't got it, right? So Arthur, like, what's going on in your mind at this point? You like, what the hell? We just had this conversation
Right.
and y'all see
And
this opportunity, like what was going through your mind to get you to actually take that leap of faith?
now, in my mind, I can say it might be a little different than what she said, but it's similar to what she said. Well, like I say, we had went through all this, and man, we was sitting there trying to give me encouragement. I was like, bro, we lost everything. You're like, yeah. So we got to the meeting, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. When we got to that meeting, now we had already said that we wasn't buying, wasn't doing nothing. Like I say, it was a panel of people that was sitting there, and nobody would explain nothing to us. Like they were just talking, but what are we doing? What are we going to be doing? And I was ready to walk out and leave, and my cousin said something that caught my attention, which was kinfolk. You know how we was brought up. You know the strokes we had, the going without. This is opportunity to fix all of that if you sit there and listen. And like she said, we didn't discuss buying anything, doing anything. We was going to listen and go home.
And get
Well,
them
it both
free
sounded
hand
good to
food.
both of us, but I wasn't ready to sign up right then. They sold them. They actually skipped me and went straight to her, and they got her, which is Twine.
We did.
The man gonna follow behind her, right? So when
Right.
they stopped talking to me, and it was funny because the story later on, they said that big old nigga got mad in that room. Talk to me. So we went home, and we got him on the driveway, and we talked. And the truth of the matter, it sounded good. It sounded great. We still was confused. And they brought in the big wig. They brought in our regional vice president, Eugene Azar. And he said that he talked to us. Now, he broke it down to a level that they didn't do the first time. And when he started showing me the pictures of things he owned, things he did, I know I need. We didn't want to be in that house too longer. Not that we couldn't make it, it was what we were used to. Our lifestyle had been flipped upside down.
Right.
Our norm is a new norm. We used to go to the bathroom and play our video games for hours in the bathroom. Now we got to be there for 5, 10 minutes. You got to get about it. People knocking on the door. Time to go.
Right.
So things had changed in our lifestyle. Like it wasn't normal no more. And then the fact that we didn't know our outcome. Like she's in school, how we could pay for school, have her school, and then they kicked up her hours, like a full-time schedule, like 18, 20 hours a semester. So she constantly gone to school, but we still need money. And and the business came along. Like I said, a guy came down. He trained her in the summer. He trained us he trained me in the fall, and we took off. We started making some money. So like what took off was the need. Like our why became bigger than our what, and we figured out
Ooh.
our how to get to the next level.
Say that one more
Does that
time,
make
man. Say
sense?
that
Like
one more time. Yo, what?
our why became bigger than our what.
Man.
Like I need to
Right.
make some money, and like I said,
And
it's legal, it's moral, and it's ethical, and we got good at it.
but that took trial and error, getting good at it. Because what I realized in owning your own business, like when you aren't held accountable for something, it's easy to stay in bed and sleep a little bit longer when you aren't held accountable. And what I mean by that, if you go to a job and you're late, then you're probably going to be reprimanded in some type of way. But when you are building your own business, you don't have that accountability. So, and also what we found out, I'm gonna keep this personal, what I found out in this whole transition from being an employee to owning my own business was that I was my biggest critic. Like I really had to change my mindset because I started thinking about it and I was just like, you know what? I was born into negativity. I was born
Mm-hmm.
into a bad relationship. My mom and dad had a bad relationship. So that triggered something in my mom's head because her childhood was bad. So now, because she had a bad childhood, then she was in a bad relationship. Now she's bringing these children into this horrible situation, and everything that she was feeling on the inside, she lashed out, I believe, on the first thing or the most available thing, which was the children.
Us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then it went from that bad relationship to another bad relationship to you know what I'm saying, and the cycle just kept repeating itself. So all through my childhood, I was exposed to negativity. Then once I became an adult and started in the workforce and building my own life, you know, I was right again exposed to negativity, especially being at that prison for 14 years. You walking in, everybody is complaining from the time they have to get up to put on their uniform. I don't want to go to work. I hate this job. I hate this uniform. And even at the prison, I was the one that was like, you ought to be thankful for the job that you have. Instead of complaining, you know what I'm saying? We have to be thankful that we even have a job. But then I found myself sliding off into that negativity because of the environment. And then just repeated that cycle of bringing kids into a messed up situation and then exposing them to negativity. So it's like now, I'm really working on, like, if you want to be a successful business owner, you have to work on yourself first
Ooh.
because
Hallelujah.
you have so many years of negativity. Like I even thought about the stuff that I was reading. Once upon a time I was a part of that book club, Black something, whatever it was. We was ordering books all the time, midnight something it was. But you order books and then you send back the ones that you don't want. You started for
Oh,
like a
yeah, yeah,
penny.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that book club. And then I started thinking about, I was reading Zane. I was reading Paul Weber. I was reading a bunch of stuff that was negative, talking about drugs, sex, just all kind of stuff that wasn't things that was being fed into my spirit that was going to help me. So now, because of that, like you have to sit down and you have to really think about a lot of the things that you have really fed into your spirit over a period of time. So once you start building a business, you're not going to flip overnight. It's not going to change overnight. It took you years to get into that situation. So it's going to take just as long, if not longer, to get all of that out of you, depending on how hard you work on it. So
Right.
if you keep
Not
it
allowing
in,
that
right, not
not
allowing
allowing
those
that
distractions.
past.
Right,
Yeah, and
right.
that negative
And
thought.
right. Like I try to tell people now, like as soon as you get that negative thought, you have to stop and start. Like having positive thinking and changing your thought process, that is something that you have to work at. Being negative, that comes natural. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
because and it's crazy though, right? Like how because I'm in touch, like we talk to a lot of different people in
Right.
our games, and
Oh
it
yeah.
blows me away how much people are what they think because
I
they feel like the way I am,
right.
this is just who I am, but it's all based on their thinking, which
Absolutely.
comes from their past. And they think,
Absolutely.
oh, well, I just got to take action and just continue to just grind. And then we get stuck and we wonder, like, man, why am I having such a small growth and I'm not having
Right.
it? And it's like, yo, you haven't changed your mindset. You
That's
still
right.
living in the past.
And on
Absolutely.
that too, that brother, like I said, it's all about conditioning, mentally conditioning. Like we all been taught the same thing from childhood. Our parents taught the same thing, and their parents the same thing too. Is go to work and do something simple. How many
Right.
times your parents told you to do something humongous, like shoot for the moon, land with the stars? You know, it ain't that they didn't teach us the right way. They didn't know the right way. They
Right.
was taught the same way from their parents. So we are just mentally conditioned to do the same thing our parents did, and that's the
Right.
cycle. The
Right.
cycle, like I hear y'all talking
So
the cycle, like we all have a cycle of life. Like until somebody step in and put a big foot in the ground and say, "Nah, we're not doing change." Guess what we're gonna do? Keeping the same
Right.
thing over and over. And we see that right now with our children. And why I said
right.
it because we was taught one way, now we learn something different, and we
Right.
all are trying to plug into our kids a different situation.
Right.
Demetria's doing with hers, you doing with yours, I'm doing with mine because you know what? What I did didn't work. It didn't work
Right.
for
Right.
me. It didn't give me to the NFL. It didn't give me my big NFL contract. It didn't give me no lavish house and lifestyle. I had to go years and struggle till I figure out what I wanted to do, but that was my lifestyle. If they listen,
Right. Right.
if they
Right.
understand, like I heard them say all the time, having that core conversation with our children. Sometimes our parents didn't have hard conversations with us. They didn't push us aside and sit us down. They didn't bust us in our mouth and say, "Hey, listen," to get us to the next level. Because life is not forgiving. Life will bust in your mouth and spit you out. Like life is tough. And a lot of
Yeah.
times we
Yeah.
do the same cycle, but like I say, right now we always talk about this doing something different next generation. And that's pretty much what we try to do right now. Everybody is do something
Right.
different.
Do something different. I love it, man. I love it. Cause we coming to a close here, man. Uh so one, like tell us the name of y'all business, man. What y'all doing and how people can get in touch with you.
Oh, it's very simple. Name my
Call me.
business. Yeah, call, text, DM me, send a smoke signal. I got you. I'm gonna hit your name. We got you. But
Hey,
And
like I
that
said,
what I'm gonna end up
okay.
doing, I'm gonna put that information down in the comments once the video is posted, y'all. Well, we going live, but once we come backstage, I'm gonna go ahead and put that information. And because we just took off, man. Like, what industry y'all in? What y'all doing? I know what y'all doing,
Oh,
and
right, right,
and
right,
the shit
you gotta mix
right,
crazy.
it up. We ain't got our suit and tie on, our dress shirt
right.
on. All we got is our little
So
choker flag. And
So let me just say it real quickly because I mean I could brag about my company all day, right? But pretty much it's financial services, okay? And so the company that we're independent contractors with Primerica, all right? So and basically what we do is teach families about finance and we help them to reach their financial goals, and that's what a lot of people in our community need. We have so many people, and I seen it working in the prison for 14 years. You have people that work there for 30 and 40 years and then they retire and they have to come back to work, right? But the
that's six
reason they
months.
have to come back to work is for those 30 or 40 years they were living paycheck to paycheck, and then when they retired they didn't have any resources outside of the job. They had everything on the job. But what we do is help people to get life insurance so that if they die too soon, because here's the fact: you either gonna die too soon or you're gonna live too long. One of those two things are gonna happen. So if you
Yes.
die too soon, what we do is help families to put that financial vehicle in place so that the loved ones that's depending on them for their lifestyle does not have to change if they lose their parent prematurely. That income that that parent have coming in, we put the vehicles in place so they can still get it. And then if that parent does not die too soon and they live to retirement, we put those vehicles in place so that they can retire and then they can have financial freedom, which
Mm,
I think is what everybody wants, financial freedom to be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want it. That is what we do to help families, and that is what we need because it's time out for GoFundMe's. Time out for that. Time out for GoFundMe's, and it's time out seeing these elderly people in Walmart being door greeters. I don't have anything against that, but at that age, they need to be
Hey,
at home enjoying their families, enjoying them
right, right,
grandkids,
right, right,
spoiling
right.
them grandbabies. At least that's where I want to be, and I want to help as many people get to that point as I can. So
Hey,
I don't
well,
know.
y'all kill it. Y'all killing the game. Y'all came from out of nowhere and grew this ridiculous ass team. Y'all killing it. So I'm gonna get y'all information down there in the comments, man. Hey, I greatly, greatly appreciate y'all that joined us. I appreciate y'all taking this time out because this was real last minute. I'm just like, yo, man, let me get y'all on there. But
Right.
anytime somebody come into the cave, man, I always ask them this one question though. Uh, one, it's with not having to worry about the space or anything, what would you have written on your tombstone? How would you want to be remembered?
Oh wow.
wow.
Well, to
I
keep
actually
it,
thought about that before. I actually thought about it.
yeah. Let me see how I could put it into words. I just want to be remembered for that person who was compassionate for her people and compassionate about other people, helping other people to be better, better people, helping people to, um, I don't know. I'm just that encourager. So I don't know. It would be something along that lines.
Brother-in-law, what yours would say?
Mine would say, here lies Arthur Gillespie. He wasn't the best at everything, but he did his best at everything.
Ooh, he wasn't. Hold on, that's fire, bro. He di- he wasn't the
He,
He
best at
wasn't the best at
everything, but he
everything,
did his
but he did
best.
his best at everything.
And hey,
I
that's
Here
like
lies,
fire.
that.
here lies it. Here lies a trendsetter.
I like that.
I thought of it before. I really have. I wasn't the best at everything. I made my mistakes. I learned from my mistakes, and I did my best to fix my mistakes. And if anybody, including my kids, I talked to my kids all last week. Like, if you listen to dad, I'm gonna teach you something better than my daddy taught me. So here lies the trendsetter. I'm trying to break my generation curse.
I love
That's
it. I love it.
that's
I
great.
love
That's great. I do. I love that too.
it.
I need to go copyright that right quick. We gonna write it down right quick. So here lies.
Hey, well,
Yeah.
we got it on video, baby. We got it on video. We good to go.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
And I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna probably put closed captions on all of this and
Yeah.
everything, man. So yeah, we good. We good. Hey
Awesome.
man, I know y'all be super busy and shit. Hey, we got stuff going on, man. I appreciate y'all again coming into the cave. Hey, I gotta get y'all back, man, so we can talk more about this business opportunity, especially in these times. So
Absolutely.
we gonna get that on the book so y'all can shine and do y'all thing there too, man.
Absolutely.
So until next time, man. Hey, I love y'all, sis and
Much
brother-in-law.
Love you
love,
too.
bro. Much
All right,
love,
man.
bro.
And
Kiss
thank y'all for
Messiah.
tuning
Get
in.
give Messiah a big old hug and a kiss from his Aunt D.
Hey, we got it, but let him stay asleep right now. He's
I
sleeping
know,
right
Yeah,
now
right?
in the
yeah.
state of. But all
All
I
right,
right,
know.
y'all.
y'all. All right.
All right.
Hey, well, we still